Popsicle sticks are such a common craft supply, but today I'll be showing you 3 different Christmas crafts that you can make and sell using these ordinary items. For ornament number 1, you're going to be needing tongue depressor sized craft sticks, and you'll just need 4 to start with. This is going to be a garden gate. Now this is a personal preference, but I don't personally like these little curved edges at the top, so I'll be cutting those off, but that is totally optional. In order to do that, I am just lining up my ruler and making a line so I know where to make them all the same size. You're going to need 2 more of these same size craft sticks to go across to make it look like the braces for your garden gate. I'm again measuring them just to make sure that they are going to be the correct length. Now there's sometimes a brace that goes diagonally across the gate, but I'm not going to be doing that for this one. It's just too much work with the angles. Now, fortunately, I do have access to a saw, but again, you do not have to cut off the ends. They are a little wiggly because they're cut by hand, but just a little bit of sandpaper, and that does help smooth out the rough edges. After everything is cut, I am going to hot glue the pieces together to make sure they're nice and secure. Even though I'm going to turn this into a Christmas ornament, I could totally see this as a spring or summer craft as well, with a pretty floral wreath on the middle instead of a Christmas wreath in the center. I ended up making 3 of these, and the next step you're going to be drilling some holes across the top of each. Now you do want to be careful whenever you drill holes in these because they're not the thickest pieces of wood, and it's really easy to split through the wood, and I accidentally did that on one of them, but I'm just going to keep that for myself. I decided to paint them red, green, and white, traditional Christmas colors, and I'm going to use wire as the hanger. I did this in my last craft, my Scrabble tile ornament, if you saw my last video, and you just take some metal wire, put it through the hole, and twist it around some pliers to make a nice hanger. And I'm going to be doing that for all 3 of these. The next step is to make the wreath that's going to go in the center, and I just take these greenery stems that I buy from Hobby Lobby, figure out the right size, and then I just twist the ends together and cut it to length. Now I know there's bottle brush wreaths that you can buy, or different types of wreaths you can buy in craft stores, but they're never quite the right size, so I always like making them myself. I also use these pip berries. They're thin, flexible, and they work great at going around and making a little bit of color to the wreath. After twisting it around all the way to the end, you just have to hot glue it right to the center. And here's how they're looking so far, but there was one other detail I wanted to add. I went to Google and looked up fancy garden gate handle, and these were all looking pretty modern, but then I found one that I really liked. That little handle right there I'm going to be painting with my POSCA pens, but I also did some hinges, just a simple little rectangle and a triangle at both the top and bottom popsicle stick that are going horizontally. And here is a little handle that I added, just a simple little circle, a curve for the handle, and a little circle at the bottom. And here's how the 3 turned out. This is definitely a craft you can make with kids, or you can sell them at craft shows because I have done that as well. Tell me in the comments down below if you have a favorite color. Mine is probably the burgundy or the white because I just love how the white pops, and red is my favorite color. For the second craft, we're going to be using popsicle sticks, and we're going to need 2 just traditional size popsicle sticks, and also 8 little ones. Now these little tiny ones are 2.5 inches long. I'm pretty sure we got them off of Amazon. This is the brand and the bag that they came in, so if you're interested, this is what we purchased. But just so you know, they are 2.5 inches long. And these are going to be Nutcrackers, and I have seen this craft also where people have made leprechauns and scarecrows. So if you're somebody that crafts all year long, you can do those styles too. And I first saw this craft on Pinterest, so this is not my original idea. And when I saw it, I thought it was so super cute. I wanted to try to make them myself. And since then, they have been really popular at my craft show, and they're really adorable. You can do them all different types of styles and colors. So I thought it'd be easier to show you how you glue it all together live instead of me doing a voiceover, because voiceovers can get a little fast and speedy, so I wanted to slow it down. So with the 8 here, you are going to first need to have the 2 long popsicle sticks side by side, and these are going to be the legs and also the back. And then you're going to need 2 here on the sides. These are the arms, right, like this. And you can see they're not lined up with the top of the legs. They are a little bit down from like the top of this stick here. Then with these three, you're going to line them up just like this, 3 across. And this kind of helps make it look like they have a little shoulder peeking out. And they're lined up perfectly with that top stick. And then these three are going to go directly on top of that. Now when they're glued together, they won't topple over. You can see they kind of go up and down. But when they're glued together, they'll be just fine. And these three also just go directly side by side, like this. Something like this. And the bottom of the stick will be below the top of the shoulder, just a touch. So here is how you set them up. 2 long sticks, 2 sticks on the side for the arms. They're 2.5 inches, 3 at 2.5, and 3 at 2.5. So it's not too difficult to put it together, and they make a super, super cute ornament. So now I'm just going to hot glue all of the pieces. Keep in mind that these popsicle sticks are really thin, so when gluing them together, you don't want globs and globs of glue because they will ooze out and possibly get on top of the ornament, and it's kind of hard to cover up with paint, so just do a little bit of glue at a time. And after gluing it all together, this craft is mainly going to be a painted ornament, but if painting is not really your thing, the last craft that I'm going to show you does involve a lot more gluing, a little bit of paint, but a lot more gluing, so stick around to the end. Also, while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. At the end of the video, please tell me in the comments down below which one is your favorite. And here's how it should look all glued together, and it is ready to paint. The very top of the 3 popsicle sticks is going to be the hat, and like I mentioned earlier, you can be super creative with this. Please use whatever colors you want. You don't have to copy mine exactly. These 2 little popsicle sticks on their sides, and I'm going to be painting those as the sleeves because they are the arms. And he's also going to be wearing a little jacket. So at the bottom of the top popsicle sticks, you just want to paint that tiny little curve, kind of swoop it down to make it look like he's wearing a coat or a jacket. Now I went with the traditional red and green colors, but you can again pick whatever colors you like. The middle part is going to be the shirt he's wearing under his jacket. And then of course his legs are going to just go a little ways down because he's also going to have shoes on. And here's how it's looking so far. I did want to show you what the back looked like, and don't forget to paint the sides either. The sides are important to paint if you want it to look nice and neat. I'm just going in with kind of a flesh colored paint for the face, and I'm also going to be doing the same for the hands. After getting all the base colors down, that is when you get to really go crazy with a lot of fun details. At the end of this, I'm going to be showing you different styles that I have done because they are all a little bit different. No 2 are exactly the same. Kind of mix and match ideas with all of them and do them all a little bit, different and just be really creative with it. I'm using my gold POSCA pen, so most of the accents are going to be gold and white. I'm doing some trim for the hat, for the coat, and his shoes, and the sleeves. Coming in with the white, I do a cute little kind of like a feather. Now, if you actually had feathers, that would be awesome to actually add a 3D element to it. But I just do this little triangle with some cute little swirls on the sides. A belt in the middle to make him look all nice and fancy like he's got his uniform on. And then I'm going to be adding some other little details like these white dots look like buttons, and then just basically wherever I think would look nice. If I think there should be something else along the edges of his sleeves or his shoes, or what do his shoelaces look like? Does he have a little belt buckle? Basically just anything that floats my boat, whatever I think is going to look good. For the face, I keep it super simple. Just a triangle nose. I like to make it look like his eyes are closed or he's looking down. Some bushy eyebrows and the traditional mustache. Now, I don't do any teeth because I would be afraid that would make it look kind of creepy. But right now, he's looking a little bald. So the last finishing touch, and this really is what truly makes it look like a nutcracker, is to add a little bit of faux hair to the side. Now, on the back, this has a kind of a mesh back, and you do not want to cut through all the hair on the front. You just kind of want to snip, snip, snip so you're not chopping all the hair off. I'm going to be making 2 of these, and you want to cut vertically so that it kind of mimics an actual haircut. Nothing too blunt and choppy. After getting 2 of them cut out, I just put a little bit of hot glue on the sides and attach his little hairdo, and he looks so much better, just like a nutcracker. The very final thing is just to glue the little string so that you can actually hang from your Christmas tree. And this is the finishing touch. Here is our cute little nutcracker. I think he is so adorable, so much detail, but in such a small ornament, and super fun and doable for anybody at any age. Here are the different variations that I've done. I've even done different colors than these, but these are the ones I already had finished, just to give you an idea of how many different styles you can actually do. Just have fun and be creative. For ornament number 3, we're back to using the tongue depressor size sticks, and we're going to need 5 of them because we are making a star. After getting them in the star shape, I'm going to be hot gluing them together. Now you can definitely use wood glue, but just keep in mind that will take longer. I've had zero problem though with hot glue on wood, so that's why I use that. It's just faster for me. After gluing the stars together on each of the points, there was also a tiny little gap, but I just filled that in with hot glue as well so it wouldn't be flexible. I chose to paint mine white because it's going to look a little bit more like a farmhouse ornament, really wintry, really frosty. I'm painting the entire thing, and I realized it's a little hard to see it on a white background, so I switched to this blue background, and now it's time to start hot gluing all the different decorations. I just used various types of greenery. Some were sparkly, some were just like pine needles, and I glued them in kind of a circular, star-like shape. Some were on top of each other, some were overlapping and underneath the back, and in the middle, this is usually where I would glue a bow, but I couldn't find a bow, so I used those little snowflake Christmas ornaments from Hobby Lobby, and I just think it was the perfect little finishing touch for that ornament. Tell me in the comments down below which one was your favorite, and if you plan on making any of these. I think they're all super cute. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.